So like sometimes people pleasers like try to be like, oh my God, I'm such a people pleaser. Like I'm amazing. And like, I don't know, it feels like no. Like I am all about you being completely authentic and honest. And if you don't want to do something, then you should say you don't want to do it. Today's episode is for the people pleasers out there. Okay, I know that I was 100%, like so much of my life I was doing to please others. I really cared so much to make everybody, happy and please them. And today's is all about how to say bye-bye to that part of you that's in there always trying to please everybody. Let me tell you, and I'm 41 now, right? And now I'm at this age where I just can care less. Like I just don't, like I basically have realized, and it's not about age, it's more about coming into that moment and that space where I am so confident in who I am, right? And what I'm about, what my purpose is. And I just try to be as authentic that I just am, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like no one's perfect, right? I have my flaws and everyone else does. And I'm always trying to grow and be better. But that being said, I feel like before, back years ago, right? I would always try to do everything possible to please people. And I cared so much, right? Even if it meant doing something that I didn't want to do, I would still do it. Have you ever done that? Where you're like doing things you don't feel comfortable with, even in your gut. Sometimes you feel like, I don't want to do this, but you do it anyway because someone asked you to, because you want to please them, you want to get their approval, whatever. And what ends up happening, it's awful because what I saw myself doing is that I would start to feel like less than every time I would do something I didn't want to do. So for example, even when you're dating and you're talking to people, right? It's something that I'm such a big, so important to be all about the emotion and not the physical. But I used to always lead with the physical. I used to feel like I needed to do, be physical to keep the guy or keep him interested, and show that I am valuable through that. And so, even though I didn't want to, and even though I didn't feel like I wanted to kiss somebody, but if I were to go on a date with someone, right? And then they take me out to dinner and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am super not feeling this. But I remember this guy, these people set me up with him and I felt like I owed it to him. And he paid for dinner. And I remember being in his truck and then he kissed me. And I remember not wanting to kiss him at all. And I just felt like, I guess this is what I should do. I gotta I owe this to him. I want to make sure that everyone's happy. And afterwards I felt so icky. I was like, ugh, what just happened? Right. But then what ended up happening was I kept doing things like that where I was just never taking a step back to really reflect and be like, wait a second, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? Why did I kiss that guy? I didn't want to. I didn't honor that feeling that I had in my gut. I think that for years, I just disregarded that feeling. Run or red flag or no, this isn't right. I really feel that you're listening to this, you're like, oh my gosh, yes. If you take anything away from this, okay, listen to me. When you are, living your life and putting yourself out there and talking to people and connecting, really honor yourself and your gut feeling and your intuition. It's one thing to say, hey, I want to show up for somebody, be a friend for somebody, but you're doing it for the intention of, this is not outside of who I am. This is not outside where I'm not comfortable with it. Okay. It's always about putting you first and making sure that you are always honoring your feelings and respect for yourself. And it's not about, let me just do anything for them. And this is like, let me tell you, it comes even to relationships with family and friends. Okay. If you are feeling drained when you're hanging out with certain people and you're trying to please everybody, that really is going to suck the life out of you, and honestly, it's like, it all comes back to that self-love. It's funny because like the doors of my coaching program, I just opened and closed them, and I have my first group, and I'm so excited. Well, actually, it's not my first group, but it's a group, right? And it's interesting how if I tell people, hey guys, come on board, it's all about self-love first, and then we'll find your person, like it wouldn't speak to people. I feel like a lot of people are always like, I want to find love, I want to find my person, let's go. And if I mention anything about self-love, they're like, oh no, I'm good. I don't need help with that. But when you get into the program, you realize, oh my gosh, there are so many things that you really aren't taking care of yourself, and pleasing everybody else before yourself is all part of self-love. Okay? It's all about you taking the moment and realizing your worth, realizing how valuable you are, okay, what you are bringing into this world, okay, and you making choices to make other people happy. If it's not, if it's not something you want to do or it's going to help you shine your light, then no, it's bye-bye time, okay? So yeah, I can't be in your pocket and telling you, I don't know what you're doing out there, but I need you to think about it. Think about what you are doing that is dimming your light. Think about things that you are getting in a situation with, even people you're meeting, guys you're meeting. Are you doing things that just to please them? And that really takes away also from the authenticity. I am all about being authentic, right? So like sometimes people pleasers like try to be like, oh my God, I'm such a people pleaser. Like I'm amazing. And like, I don't know, it feels like, no, like I am all about you being completely authentic and honest. And, if you don't want to do something, then you should say you don't want to do it. Don't, misrepresent. Don't be like, oh yeah, this is what and then later you find out oh, I really didn't want to do it. Like you're like a martyr. And it's like, wait a second, come on now. Okay. Because sometimes you want to paint yourself out to be such a good, like quotation marks, right? Good person. I'm always doing things for everybody else. But if it's something that you don't want to do and it makes you feel not good, right? And it doesn't make your heart happy, right? Then don't freaking do it. Do not do it. And like, I need you to like really call yourself out on this. Okay. You're not, I'm not going to tell you, oh my God, you're so sweet. You're like always doing things for everybody. Like, trust me, I'm speaking from experience because I've done it myself. I know so many people that have done this too. And I keep doing it. Right. And sometimes they try to paint a picture of themselves like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I can't say no to people. I just, oh my gosh. And like, as if you're amazing. And I'm telling you something. Okay. You are amazing, not because you are doing things to please people. You're amazing because you are freaking amazing. And especially when you're being authentic and true to what you want to do and what lights you up. Okay. So yeah, this episode is a short but tough one. I really hope that it sticks with you. Okay. It's bye time to that feeling in your heart sometimes that you get, I should do this. I don't want to disappoint them. Oof. Yeah, I guess I should do this. No, screw that. No, I need you to really reflect on and stay true to you. Okay? Be authentic. Be freaking fearless with that. I lean into that. Like, who gives a shit if you come off like a bitch? Like, seriously, think about it. Like, who cares? Let's say you're on a date and the guy wants to kiss you and you have no desire to kiss him. Don't kiss him. Don't. And if he has a problem with it, screw him. He's not your person. Hello, Will tried to kiss me when I first met him on the dance floor. And I gave him my cheek. I'm like, nice try. No. Why? Because at that point when I met Will, I had gone through my journey. I was already all about self-love. I knew my worth. I knew what I wanted, and I knew what I wasn't going to just, I'll do whatever he wants me to do. Screw that. And guess what? Even though it was completely different action from before, right? I always used to meet guys and kiss them right away. Who cares? That's what I used to think. Oh, that's what you do to keep a guy. This is like, I think Will was the first guy. I might have been the first guy I ever just gave him my cheek. And he was like, what? Okay. He got my number, and he told me later, and he's talked about it on the podcast, where he was like, oh my God, he was intrigued. Oh, I got to talk to this girl, And I'm telling you, look where we are now. Like, we just celebrated 15 years married. And at the time, I wasn't doing what pleases him, right? But I was being honest and authentic to what I felt. I'm thinking, I don't know this guy. And my kiss is freaking valuable, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that when you do the hard, and you're so used to pleasing people, right? When you start to say no to things, you start to honor yourself more. You start to realize that the people that you're meant to spend more time with, they're going to love you even more for it. You know what I mean? I want you to say no to things more. I want you to just lean into what you really want to do. I think the universe is going to reward you for that. You see what I mean? You're going to say no to certain things you don't want to do, and you've been saying yes to please everybody. I bet you anything, you start saying no to that shit, doors are going to open for you. More opportunities, more people. Who knows? I really want you to lean into this. Okay? Call yourself out. I'm so happy to do it. So, you can make sure to shoot me a DM or an email if you need any help, a kick in the butt. You can also get on my wait list for the next time I open up the session for the coaching program. I'll put the link below, because, I just want you to shine your freaking beautiful light, stop pleasing people, and please yourself, okay? And do not settle for anything less than crazy love. Okay? Because remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing.